ALMA Maldita. Today, we dive into 5 unsettling internet horror stories. Let's begin. I have always been a curious soul, drawn to the mysteries of the internet. One night, I stumbled upon a forum called The Endless Thread. He claims to have written the scariest stories ever written. I couldn't resist. The moment I clicked on the first link, I felt a shiver creep down my spine. The story was about a cursed website, and the more I read, the more it consumed me. He described a site that allegedly had the power to show you your death, clearly and inevitably. Skeptical but intrigued, I followed the link provided. The website was simple, just a black screen with blinking cursors. I hesitated, then typed my name. Immediately, a video started playing. I watched, frozen in terror, as he showed a vivid picture of my own death, an event I had never experienced. The shock sent me back to my computer, and when I returned, the site was gone, replaced by an error message. But the story did not end there. Every night, I found myself haunted by new visions of death, each more terrifying and haunting than the last. I could not escape the curse of the endless thread, and I feared that one day it would show me my final, inevitable fate. Late one night, I stumbled upon a chat room with a terrible reputation. It was called Shadows Speak, and members claimed they could communicate with the dead. Reluctantly, I entered the room and introduced myself. The chat was full of cryptic messages and strange symbols. A user named Silent Spectre sent me a private message, telling me that he could contact my deceased loved ones. I reluctantly agreed, providing some details about my late grandfather. To my horror, the Silent Spectre began to reveal intimate details of my grandfather's life, things only he and I knew. It was impossible, and I felt a sense of dread. The Silent Spectre claimed that my grandfather had a message for me, but before delivering it, he demanded something in return, a promise that I would visit an abandoned house in my town. The house had a notorious reputation for being haunted, but the idea of a message from my grandfather made me comply. Chat room members guided me to the address, and as I entered the house, I heard whispers and footsteps. My flashlight flickered, and a cold wind enveloped me. Suddenly, I felt a cold hand on my shoulder, and a voice whispered in my ear, "Your grandfather has forgiven you." I ran away from home, never looking back, but the awful feeling of those words haunted my soul forever. I had always been fascinated by paranormal phenomena and downloaded every ghost hunting app I could find. One day, I came across a new app called Soul Seeker. It promised to connect users with the spirits of the dead. Eager to test its authenticity, I launched the app and entered a dimly lit room. As soon as I activated the app, the room temperature dropped. A voice whispered my name from the shadows, and a ghostly figure appeared on my screen. It was my childhood friend Sarah, who died in a tragic accident years ago. Tears came to my eyes when she was talking to me. Sarah told me that she had been wronged and wanted revenge on those who had caused her death. He urged me to help him, to avenge his untimely death. Horrified and sympathetic, I agreed. The app provided a list of names and addresses responsible for Sarah's death. With each visit, I encountered them, but their deaths became increasingly gruesome and gruesome. Guilt and horror haunted me, and Sarah's presence never left me, even in my dreams. I realized too late that the app is a channel for evil spirits. Sarah's revenge consumed me, and I became a pawn in her revenge game. Now I'm stuck, forever tormented by the app's cold whispers and an endless cycle of terror. I stumbled upon a blog that told stories of inexplicable events and urban legends from around the world. The author of the blog, the ghostwriter, claimed to have personally experienced these events. Skeptical but intrigued, I delved into the stories. An entry appeared. It told of a haunted forest known as the Whispering Woods, home to evil spirits. The ghostwriter provided coordinates and encouraged readers to visit the forest, promising a chilling experience. Curiosity got the better of me, and I embarked on a journey through the whispering forests. As night fell, an eerie silence fell over the forest. Whispers filled the air, and ghostly figures lurked in the shadows. Panic set in, but I pressed on, pulled by some unseen force. Suddenly I stumbled upon a clearing where an otherworldly figure beckoned me closer. Its eyes glittered mischievously, and it spoke in a cold voice, telling my deepest fears and darkest secrets. I tried to run away, but the entity pursued, tormenting me with dreams of my own death. Exhausted and broken, I finally escaped the forest, but the haunting presence of the Whispering Woods did not leave me. The ghostwriter's blog led me into a nightmare abyss, and now I am forever haunted by the haunting horrors of this cursed place. One evening, I ventured into the dark corners of the internet and found myself in a hidden marketplace known as the Infernal Auction. It has claimed to offer extremely disgusting and forbidden items. Surprised and disgusted, I browsed through the lists. One particular auction caught my eye. It was for a cursed artifact, an ancient mirror said to grant wishes, but at a terrible price. The description warned of dire consequences, but the lure of my deepest desires was too strong to resist. I bid and won the mirror. As soon as it arrived, I felt an ominous presence in my house. A mirror decorated in black was beckoning me closer. I got my wish, and for a moment it felt like my wishes were coming true. But then, the room plunged into darkness. In the mirror's reflection, I saw a nightmare of myself, twisted and ugly. It reached out, pulling me into the realm of my nightmare. I was trapped, facing my darkest fears and regrets, as the mirror consumed my soul. Now, I exist as a wraith-like entity within the cursed mirror, forever trapped in a world of torment and despair. The Infernal Auction had ensnared me in its web of horror, and I serve as a grim reminder of the unsettling terrors that lurk on the dark web.